Hey everybody. Ooh, hope that you can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me and see me and everything is working. There's a bit of... How are we doing? Can you see me? Can you hear me? All the good stuff. I'm sorry if I'm playing around and oh, okay, that should be fine. My computer is very tired, so it always takes it a bit of time to kind of, decide to show me the chat. So I hope you're here and you can see me and hear me and everything. Yes, I'm waiting for the comments. Okay. So if you don't know me, my name is Nama, or my channel slash shop slash everything else is called Peculiaris. So that's how I usually am found on the internet. And now, Paulina was supposed to be here with me for translation to German. I unfortunately do not know German yet. I'm working on that, but it will take time. Oh, good. Thank you so much for letting me know that it's working. So Paulina was supposed to help me with translation, but something came up and she couldn't join in. Mirka might join me somewhere at some point, but for now it's only English. Sorry about that. But hopefully we'll work it out, right? We'll work it out. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is basically decorate this kind of miniature Japanese screen that I made. Oh, thank you, Moika. That will be lovely. If I see Milka, I will catch her in the chat. If you see Milka in the chat, let her know. So this is the sample that I made. I'm going to do it with a different design today. Because, well, why not? Why not? Why do the same design again? And also because actually, bunnies are autumn theme in Japan, and we're doing spring. Yeah, hey, Milka. Milka, so Frau Lina couldn't join me for translation. If you can do it, then I send the link in Messenger. Feel free to join me at any time if you're up to it. If you need a break, we will manage. So I already made the screen because I'm going to show you how I'm decorating it. I'm going to do it in two styles because one of the beauties of this design of the screen is that it folds both ways, right? Like this. So it can actually also stand both ways, which I always like because it means that I can, I can put completely different themes on both sides and just switch it up every now and then to have a different cool thing. Oh, hey, Paulina, you're here. Let's see. Can you hear me? Oh no. Okay. Let me see if I can do it because I can't hear you unless I add you to the stream. This is a bit of a technical issue that I don't really know how to do. Because if I split this, I don't want to split the screen, but okay, so maybe I'll try. Let's try something. Just a second. I'm I will do this on, just a second. Oh, dear me. That was a lot of echo, wasn't it? I'm sorry about that. I just don't really know how to do the to add someone with to have someone in the background without adding you to the stream without having a terrible echo. So we will just have to manage as is. So about the paper, this paper is not, it's not a pattern paper. This is the pattern is actually done. It happens when you create the I connected the screen. This is how it's done with strips of paper, and you can see the differences between them. This is the same paper, only in this case, I cut it into squares and glued its squares on its own, like separately, which took a long time. So for the live, I figured, why not do something new and faster? And I basically created the, I don't know if, let's see if I bring it close. Can you see that this is actually lines that are carved in? So this is, I just used, oh, thank you, Frauleina. That's cool. I will figure out the technical issues of these things one day. So I basically use this phone folder that is metal, and it's really good for creating these kind of thin creases. So this is actually not the paper. The paper here is, I basically, yeah, it's basically a type of weaving to connect the paper. So the gold base is this tissue paper. That is gold tissue paper that you can probably get in any common gift shop. And I just created the pattern of the squares underneath it. And because it's so thin, once you go on it, it goes, it just catches all the details. And it does, you can see that it does tend to have a little bit of wrinkles here and there. And yeah, but I don't mind, because I think that it actually is quite close to what Japanese screens looks like sometimes. So let us start working. I will say, so like I said in the beginning, I'm not actually going to explain how I did this screen exactly. I'm just going to decorate it, because I thought that that if I just show you how I'm doing the decoration, then this is something that you can do afterwards on, you can do it in a journal page or on a card. It's a technique that you can use on everything, not just this kind of screen. So I thought that would be more useful. But if you are interested in the screens, then I will do a shameless plug and let you know that I'm actually working on an online class that will be on this kind of mini screen making, and also with versions of also like making, the 6-wing screen. So you'll have like something that would work like this with 6 parts. So that will come in the future. If you're interested, let me know and follow me, and I will notify it. So of course we're doing spring and cherry blossom. And what I decided to take as a sort of extra theme is a poem that is actually, I put the translation of the poem in the description of the video so you can see it. But it's a poem by Ono no Komachi. You can see it here. It's one of the, if you know the Karuta or the 100 famous poets, sorry, it's a kind of card game, basically traditional in Japan. And one of the poetess is named Ono no Komachi, and the poem that I'm referring to, I'll just read it, but yeah, you can find it in the translation in the description. Thanks, Frauleina. Thanks so much. The color of the flowers has faded indeed, in vain. I have passed through the world while gazing at the falling rains. So that's a poem, and this is the poem in calligraphy that I just printed on collage paper. And a lot of what I will be doing. That's cool. Yeah, it could be really cool to do if I would do, Annalise, if you would do it in a different color, it would be really cool to do kind of a wood texture and give it a different look. It's very cool. So what I'm using today is collage paper that I printed on. And I'm printing it with very basic, to be honest, inkjet printer. Now I'm using this paper, the collage paper of Tim Holtz in the Ideology line. I will say that unfortunately this one has been discontinued. He said that it will be discontinued. I believe that it is already. So it might be hard to get. However, you can have, I have the example here somewhere. Where did I put it? Yeah, there it is. So Dina Wakely has a collage paper that is also, it comes in sheets and it's pretty similar. It's from Ranger and you can do exactly the same with it. Now you can also do it with white tissue paper, just printing it in white in the inkjet printer. I'll explain a little bit about how I'm doing the printing as well, because there is a trick to it in a way. But the benefit of the collage papers is that it's stronger, so it doesn't tear as much. And also, yes, but for printing on it a pattern, you kind of need the plain one. I'm very sad that it's gone. I have a whole stash, but I know that one day it will be gone. But the collage paper is stronger than tissue paper, and it also seems to take the ink better. So there's less issues with, things like the color being smudged while you glue it. Although you do need to be a bit careful with it, with the collage paper as well. And it does work with white tissue paper. So if you can't get a collage paper, you have tissue paper and want to try it, just go for it. It works. And the main trick that you want when you print on a collage paper, what you want to do is basically take, I'll just take an example. So just take paper. It can be paper that you've printed on and just scrap paper. And you basically want to take the collage paper and glue it down to it. Now, there's a lot of tricks that you can find online also to kind of tape it down. But what I found works best is this little thing. It's just a spray adhesive, a temporary spray adhesive, and because it's spread all over the page, it catches the collage paper much better to the place, and it wouldn't kind of fall apart in your printer and just get all your printer stuck. That's always fun. So so that's the trick for printing it. You can see because of that I don't know how much you can see, but there's actually still a bit of a tack on the paper when I'm moving it around. But of course we need to glue it down. Yes, I think that calligraphy rice paper would also work. It depends a bit on the type of paper. Rice paper in general, what they call collage paper, is basically a type of rice paper, because rice paper is not, it's got nothing to do with rice when it comes to like the construction. It's about the materials of it. It's just about the way that it feels and how it was called in the West. But it's got nothing to do with rice. It's basically about the construction of it being very thin and very, and still durable, which is kind of important when you want to glue it down. So what I did is printed it on the collage paper, and I fussy cut it out. You will, if you look closely, see if I bring it here, you can see that there are edges. I didn't need to, I don't need to cut it very close. Oop, there it is. Now we're in focus. You don't need to cut out each hair because the white will basically become transparent. Or semi-transparent, which is what we want here. That's kind of the idea here, is that the gold of the back will come out through it. Yes. So, and okay, so for this side of the screen, I'm doing a very kind of traditional Japanese theme in a way. So this is the poem that I just read to you, and we can imagine that this is Ono Komachi, the poetess. And I do have some die cuts of branches. This is from Tim Holtz's thing. There's this one. I don't remember what the name of it is, but it's from this set. They have this lovely branch. Now for the flowers, the flowers that are in here were not small enough for what I wanted. So I actually cut, I used a different die. I used this one. It's a creative expression dies. And basically I took this one and just cut out these flowers. So yeah, it's this one. And I just cut out these flowers, and yeah, I have flowers now. I also cut them down into tiny little leaves, tiny petals, because I want to have some petals scattered down afterwards. So we'll put these ones here to the side, and we'll start gluing. Now, until now, in making this screen, I used collage medium and Mod Podge, and this is why mainly collage medium in the end. And this is why you can see that this is basically not shiny. Like the original paper was shinier. So now, but because I want this to have a kind of metal effect, you can see in here that this is more shiny, the finished one. I just used this glue. It's a decoupage glue, and this one has a shiny finish, so it would work well for us. And after I successfully opened it, which is always useful, let's start. Yes, small tattered flowers. Thank you, Farlina. I just removed the label part, and always a mistake apparently. So for that, I'm just going to place first what I want, the images where I want. I am going to have a frame in the end, like I had in the example. I basically use washi tape for that. I just happen to have washi tape with Japanese patterns. Well, not happened. I bought them on purpose. But if you don't have that, obviously you can use whatever pattern you want, and you can also just use strips of cardstock or more of the kind of rice paper or something like that around to create a frame. And of course, you can skip the frame completely. So let's start gluing. So because I want this to be placed in a specific place, what I usually do is just put it where I want, and I will move the lovely lady for a second. And I hold it in place one side, and I'll glue down the other half. And I do put a rather generous amount of this glue. You can see that it's very, very liquid, which is very useful for exactly this kind of project. I do need to kind of, I try to do it as gently as possible because the collage paper is still quite delicate, although, see, I don't have glue at the bottom, so I can fill it very gently and put it back down. And I tend to push it down also with my fingers. Sometimes it's not the best idea, but that's just how I do it. And yeah, and the best way to do it is have glue both under and on top. And you can see that it becomes almost completely transparent. The places where it's not transparent, it means that there isn't enough glue underneath. Now, I don't mind so much because it's part of the look to have it like see that it is a glued down image, that it's not necessarily painted directly, or to have this kind of square frame, let's put it this way, or rectangle would be more accurate. This is something that I don't mind at all. I even like it. So I don't fight it at all. And yeah, just to remove some of the bubbles, basically. I don't mind wrinkles, but I prefer not to have bubbles. And okay, this corner here needs a little more glue. Very good. And as you can see, well, I'll show you in a second. There was apparently a bit of a blob here. I'm trying to see if it's a bubble. Oh, just a second. And I'm trying to check follow the chat. I have no idea how big is. So it's not a card, it's a gray board. So it's meant to be like a standing screen. But yeah, it's very good guess. It's 20 by 20, Moika, which is basically 8 by 8 exactly. There we go. I'm not entirely following the chat, partly because at least part of it is in German. One day I will learn German, or I will know German, but it is not today, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to put this here for a second and bring it to the camera, because I just want you to see that the print is completely focused. Thank you. That the print has not kind of smeared at all, that it's completely, it's as clear as before, which is very cool. Okay, so I'm just checking here. It does need to dry some more and it will change a bit. So yeah, but we'll do the same now with this lady. And because I'm putting it, okay, so I'll just explain how I'm going to do the crossing of the screen. That was like this fold. Because basically, if I would just want it to fold to one side, then it wouldn't be any problem, because you can just fold it down and it's no problem, but it wouldn't be torn. But because I want this to be double-sided, I want it to be able to fold to this direction as well, then I have to cut this. So what I will actually do is glue one side, I will let it dry a little bit, and then gently cut with a cutting knife just on the line of the fold. Okay, so let's just make sure that it's placed the way I want it. Yeah, that looks right. And let's start gluing. Oh, and of course it will move, honestly. And yeah, because I am going to cover the entire screen in the end with this glue, so it will all have this the glossy finish. So I don't need to worry about exactly the lines or the edges of the image. I can put just a ton of glue all over the place and just work with it. Just put a ton of glue on this side as well. Right to the edge. Don't want to glue this edge down. That would not be useful. I'm sorry if I am missing any comments, because I actually do need to see what I'm doing. It's one of those stages that you really need to actually look at your work very closely, and you do need to work quite fast with this, because the decoupage glue is built to, to dry fast, so you can do this without a problem. So we had a bit of a wrinkle there, but it's done. Get rid of that. And yeah, one of the fun parts about it being capable of folding like that is that I can fold it like this to make sure that it doesn't actually glue on the other side and will not give me problems afterwards. Very useful. Okay. So this is this side. I'm also just going to use this opportunity to cover the whole bit of this screen with a glue / varnish to give it that glossy finish. Okay. Trying not to get the glue into the fold, because that will kind of be an issue if I want to fold it afterwards. Yeah, don't want it to glue together. Okay, I'm just talking to myself now. Cool. And you can already, I think, see if I can catch. Can you see the difference? It's not a huge difference, maybe, but maybe like this, you can see. Nah, I don't think that the camera shows it very well. But there is a difference now between this side and this side. Okay, so I'm going to let this part dry a bit. Although, no, I'm going to glue this part down as well. So when I cut it, because then it just holds everything stretched, and which makes it easier to cut with the cutting knife. So, just put glue here, making sure that I don't have glue within the fold. Just down, glue. Marcus, thank you so much for joining in for the translation. I'm sorry that, I'm not much of a tech expert with these things. So I'm not sure exactly how it works for someone to be just behind the screen without from some reason my basically my sound just going completely crazy. So glue this down, and I am going to just put the glue / varnish on top of everything now before I add the die cuts, because for the die cuts I will probably A, use a different glue, and B, I don't need them to be glossy. So it's just better for this part to be done now. Hey, Sam. Thank you. Okay. So in the meantime, I will tell you that part of the plan is that this side will be this kind of traditional, sorry about the plane, kind of traditional Japanese look. And the other side of the screen will have a more kind of collage feel, I guess, that will also with how do you call it? With some printed images that I have from collage paper and also other things. So, okay, just check. Yeah, this looks fine. Now I will let this part dry, and we will add some cherries, cherry flowers, right? Yes. Now, So if you have noticed the poem that I was looking at, it's not like the happiest poem. And the thing is, with Cherry Blossom, just should I do some? Yeah, we should always do some shading, right? Um, huh, I didn't bring my ink. Just a second, I will bring my inks. Something always has to be forgotten. So, luckily, they were close by, and we can just ink this a bit, just the edges. It's already, you can see that, I think you can see, can you see that the paper has this gentle texture? So that adds already to kind of the wood look and for some interest. But, you know, oh wow, I need to change this. Boom. But it's always good to add a bit of inking. I will actually do it like this, just because it's so delicate, this dye. And I don't want it to, well, to tear up, don't I? That would be very useful. Not useful. Hey, Leanne. Okay, so a little bit of shading there, just for the heck of it. Some details I will also add later. I will say, so for example, with the bunnies here, let's see, I'll bring it up. So this, it's basically, again, a printed image on collage paper. And then when it was completely dry, I came back with acrylic paints and very small brushes and just added details of the fur. And it just creates a much more realistic or cool, yes, bunnies. It just adds a lot of detail and it's nice. So with this as well, I might come back later with small brushes to kind of bring out some of the details. But for that part, you really need to have everything dry completely. So it's probably not going to be during the life. Okay, so as I was saying, cherry blossom in Japan, aside from being extremely beautiful, which is, I mean, it's a gorgeous sight to see a cherry tree in bloom. One of the reasons that Japanese appreciate this traditionally is also the fact that they are very temporary. That one day you have a tree full of blooms, and the next day they're all gone. They fall down. It's like if you have cherry blossom viewing, the hanami, you would basically go one day, like you would have a week to go with your friends, and the days after it will be all gone. I will now just, before I'm gluing them down, I'll just kind of arrange them around to see how many I want and where I want them. So, so the appreciation of cherry blossoms, especially in poetry and literary things, in Japan was more about, how do I explain it? It's always includes, it's seeing this gorgeous beauty and always remembering that it's going to be gone in like 2 seconds. So there is also a very strong connection of kind of celebrating the now, enjoying what you have, and this beauty that is connected to sadness, or joy that is connected to sadness, which is very interesting, and I thought very fitting with that, the poem. Okay, so we will have, I'm thinking we can add some more flowers, maybe also just take it all the way around. And then I will also have the petals. I don't know, can you actually see the petals? They're pretty tiny in this pattern. Yeah, there they are. Olga, hey! Cool. Okay. Are we liking the cherry blossoms here? Do we want more? What do you say, people? Is that enough? And then we will have like we'll have the petals kind of going like this, I think. Is this completely dry? Ooh. Yeah, they're super tiny, right? That was fun. Okay. And oh, I should also say that because this is, I'm not gonna actually lift it up now, but because this is it's meant to be double-sided and everything, I don't want it to be like too high. I want things to be quite flat to hold down. So that's why I'm using like I'm not giving these flowers even more body. Like I could form them for a bit more not layering. Ooh, I'm forgetting a word. Oh. Well, I can only try, but I mean, I assure you, you're teaching me so much, Olga. So thank you. And I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah. Okay. So, and yeah, I am using, I'm sure that you've noticed, but I'm using the Distress Collage medium in this little, this bottle, this fine tip bottle, which is very useful, although sometimes it does get stuck, especially, it's like, it's one of those things with all, it's true with all glues that have fine tips, at least in my experience. It's like, how should I put it? Like once it gets stuck, it's so hard to get them. Yes, less 3D. Thank you so much, Sue. Less dimensional. Like once it gets stuck once, it just like gets stuck all the time. But as long as it's free, it just flows, which is always cool. Let's move this a little bit more here. Yeah. So we'll have a bit. No, that was me talking to myself. Sorry. Yeah. And this is tiny. I do want to. Oh my goodness! I cannot believe someone just tried to call me. I would not expect my phone to try and pick up a call when I'm live. God damn it! How rude, right? Okay. Cool. What? Wait. One flower that is falling, maybe. Yes. So I'm going to have the petals kind of scattered down. And yeah, maybe we'll have one kind of in the middle that is still full. We'll see in a bit. Oop. Oh, my time was good. Good. I might actually. Okay. Couple on the ground. Yeah, we can do that as well. There are things that, I mean, there are things that I just, things that I plan ahead and things that I just add afterwards. And sometimes it would be after the live or, I knew I didn't glue you down. And so on. So it's always good to kind of think about it. And yeah, I'm definitely So now with the petals, what I'm going to do is just do a scatter and then attempt to glue it right, but it's going to be a little hard. But basically, yeah. So this is maybe, let's see. So I don't want maybe on her. I'm just going to remove a few and kind of adjust the placement. But generally doing the kind of just basically dropping it is the best way that I find to do to create something that is more natural. Because if I just try to place them, I'll create a pattern, and it's not meant to be with a pattern. I like that one there. Yeah, I'll leave it there, and I might add afterwards some more here. And actually, I think that I would also add a bit of ink somewhere here just to give it, to create a floor. No, I know. I also chose like this, I use this plate that has a pattern on it, so you can't see anything in it, can't you? Okay. Tiny, tiny petals. And I will probably, yeah. So to glue the tiny petals, I will use my lovely tweezers. And I'm gonna just put that blob of glue here and use my friendly toothpick to attempt. And maybe I'll just do it with my finger, actually. Just put a drop of glue here and the petal on top. Will take a bit of time, but also, I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly where I picked it up from. It just needs to be to create the general pattern. Ooh, come on. Yes, you do. And after a few, it always your hand becomes a bit gluey, so everything gets attached to it. Trying to see. Okay. Looks like you're handling the chat. Thank you so much. So if I'm missing a question, let me know, because I'm looking at petals now. I hope that you can still hear me. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself here, but like mumbling to myself, I should say, because I'm always talking to myself here, obviously. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna clean a bit. Don't really need to clean the collage medium so much because it does dry clear, but it's matte and I have a glossy finish, so I prefer to clean as much of it as I can. Of course we do, Sam. It's the best chat around. That sounds terrible. Oh, it doesn't want to come. Okay. So, switch finger. Oh, cool. I don't know about you, but toothpicks are one of my favorite tools. They're just so freaking useful. Okay. So, oh, that's good to know, I think. Do I want you to hear me mumbling to myself? Well, okay, just a few more. Actually like that these two are a little bit on top of each other. So I will glue them that way. I'm just playing with the petals now. I feel like this should be maybe in the other direction. So before it dries, I'll just turn it around like this, maybe. Yeah, cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, because also in the poem she refers to kind of, you know, winds blowing, rains falling actually, and wind. So it feels like, I don't know, even though it's marking spring, that it maybe should have like a chilly wind feel to it. So here we have it. And the last one. That actually didn't take as long as I expected. Huh. Okay, so that's the petals. And now I think that what I'm going to do is find a piece of paper with a straight edge and just ink a little bit down here to create a feel of, you know, a floor. Floors are useful sometimes, especially when you're sitting on them. Okay, so what should I take? I think I'll just take the, no, so it all. Just check it. Oh, see, I touched. So the beauty of using decoupage paper glue on everything is that even if you stick your finger in ink and put it straight onto your project, you can clean it very easily. Those are awesome. Cool. Okay, fix that. Let's create a floor. So I'm going to, let's see. I think that maybe if I just do the bottom two, I'm just going to do an edge, basically, because I don't want to ink in this area really, because it would go on top of the, actually I could do it. I could do it and clean it. Ha, okay, we can do it and clean it. Yeah, I think that's like around the middle here would be good. And now that it's dry enough, I can just and create a line. And I probably should have gone with black after all. Let's start with this one and see how it goes. I think it's too pale. I don't know if you can even see it. What do you say? They make it darker? Probably, right? I use paper. Yes. No, so the paper is pink paper. I did not color it. If I come back with details, I'll do it afterwards with my brushes. Do I have the paper here? No, it's one of Tonic Studios papers that just they have a ton of colors, and this is a sort of baby pink that is very fitting with cherry blossoms. So I'll try and, oh, I see it. Just a second. I'll bring the paper. I'll show you. So it's this paper that it's also, if you can see, let me see. It has this weave pattern on one side, and the other side is smooth. All of their papers are like that. They're good weight for die cutting and like layering die cuts. They're not the best. I would not use them for like base of cards and stuff because they're not thick enough for that, but they're not meant for it. Okay, I'm going with the black. This is too pale. Yes, yes, that's the beauty of using this. It also depends on the ink. If I use archival ink, afterwards I will use archival ink to add like a seal sort of thing. Like here, I'll show you in the example. See, so this was done with stamped with archival ink. So that will not be removed so easily. But distress ink is water-based and it's very, very easy to remove. And I will try to do very gently with the black because my it's cool. Yeah, I think I like it better like this. Just a little bit, it just creates a bit of sort of texture, like maybe a little bit like wood, like she's sitting on the wood floor, which should not be the case. And see, I have too much here. So I'm just going to use, basically it's a baby wipe and I can just remove the whole thing. Ta-da! Done. Isn't that easy? Yes. Yeah. That is why I wanted the whole surface to be covered with a varnish before I start playing around with inks and stuff. Because then you can fix everything, and being able to fix things is good. And just look at those fingers. Freaking hell. The test is whether the baby wipe will be able to remove the ink from my fingers, but not anytime soon, I'm afraid. After the life, but as long as it doesn't stain my project, it's good. Yeah, my the sponge of my black ink is oversaturated because I used it to blend with a re-inker. So there is so much ink in it that it's ridiculous. But okay. So now that we know everything is here in dry, I'm going to find my craft knife and very gently just separate it. And I don't know how, well, you'll just have to believe me. You can't really see it, but there is actually, I need to actually kind of really push down because I glued it very flat. And because it's completely dry now, it's really holding it. And I'm trying to do the cut as straight as possible. So, so the pattern will not be damaged. And for me, it's just easier at this point to go to the other side. So, yeah, because cutting straight, by the way, not something I'm good at. But there, I think we've got it. Let's see. Yes. So now what I'll do, oh, there was one flower I didn't glue. Okay, we'll take care of that in a second. But now I just need to add a bit of glue here and seal it in. I will actually do it afterwards because I want to start working on the other side, and apparently another petal too. Where? Okay, so where this flower is probably here. So just quickly glue it because I want to move to the other side. So I don't want to have glue right in the fold. Okay. And yeah, I will currently not be able to finish this during the live, probably because it's me. I never finish during the live. It's okay. But I will have, of course, pictures of everything afterwards. And for now, let's just move to the other side. Another blank space. So for this side, what I was going to do is kind of play with some ephemera and stamping, and do much more of a, I wouldn't say like modern, but well, less traditional style of things, but connect it to our poem and our theme. So I have some images that I printed again on collage paper, like this cherry blossom trees and this very, well, honestly, very fake photo of women standing in, yeah, under cherry blossom, but it's very pretty. I have some text that I printed out just for the heck of it. And I have these paper dolls that I think fit quite nicely with this. Like, sort of give you the feeling that they're standing with this in the background. And where was it? I also have this girl that I might use, but I'm not sure if she fits, but she's very nice. Very pretty. And this one, which I really love, I'm going to use. And I was thinking of kind of having that under it. And, you know, because this white is basically going to become transparent. So, yeah, I know, Sam. That's what I love about this project. Like the idea that the screen can be completely different from both sides and you can kind of play with that. And so I also have all kind of stamps. I have this cool kind of, no, I'll have to put it on top of the, oh, I can show you this image, the image here, that it's a, you know, like a distressed Japanese text, which is really cool. It's a Kaisercraft stamp, if you're interested. And I have, just a second, oh, something good. This set is not Japanese at all, but this pattern is very much Japanese. It's from the Badass Stamp Studio, although I believe that that was a limited edition, so I'm not sure if it's available anymore, but I just had to buy it because of this. So I might use that as well here and there somewhere. Now, the big question with this thing is whether I stamp directly on this, which is a risk because, as you can see, it's very textured, really. Or I stamp on collage paper and then glue it down as the same way that I glue everything else. Yeah, I have. So these couple in the paper dolls you have in different sizes, and also in the, I think it's Found Relatives, the one it's called, this one, when you have the full picture, so you have them in there as well. So I just have a whole, basically all the ones that I could find I brought out so I can decide which size I want. And I might tint them as well. Let's see. Okay, so should we risk the stamping or stamping directly on it, or should we do it on collage paper? What do you think? Because the benefit of doing it on collage paper is that you can play even more with it sometimes. You can just kind of tear it down, but I don't know. I feel like trying to stamp on it and see what happens. And I have all of the, I have this, I'm going to use archival inks for that. I want the color one because I think it would be fun. Which ones should I use? Oh no. See, this is the part that I planned less. Did I found it? No, so there's no varnish in this. There is collage medium because when I glued down the paper, the gold tissue paper, I used collage medium. But on collage medium, I can stamp with archival without a problem, and it will not move. So that's fine. Or like permanent ink, like Stazon, would also work perfectly. The question here is not the surface, like or it's not the collage medium. It's the fact that it has these ridges, so it will probably not stamp perfectly. The question is, how much do we care if it stamps perfectly or not? Do we care? Okay, that's not big enough. I'm waiting for your answer. Do we care? And till then, I'm trying to find a. Maybe I should. Oh, I know what I'll do. Okay, we're gonna do a full on, we'll just risk it completely. I'll put it this way. I'm not gonna use a stamping, the acrylic thingy. How do you call the acrylic thingy? Oh my God, I've lost my English as well. I'm just going to, because the stamp comes on this plastic, the clear plastic, I'm just going to ink it like this and try and stamp it down. Like that. And what color should I use? Go with just a brown. Yeah, okay. For now, I'll just go with just a brown. And we'll see how it goes. Blocked. Thank you, Sam. My God. So the tricky part with any distressed text that you're trying to stamp is that, well, I mean, it's actually not, I shouldn't care because it's distressed anyway. So, you know, I just don't want it to be only on the ridges. So I'm just going to put some of it here. Let's see how it works. And trying not to move it, just kind of following with my fingers. Imagining that, you know, this is like a different type of stamping tool. Your fingers can be a stamping tool. Okay, just going, and especially where the lines are, I'm gonna maybe give it an extra push. And, ooh, that actually worked pretty well. Now you do need to let it dry before I glue anything on it. That's the only kind of tricky thing. And I'm gonna see if I can get more from the same one. Ah, nice. Just that I did see, just a sec. Yeah, there is a little area that it does, that the kanji for spring appears. So I want it more, and I'm gonna just put it here, just for the heck of it. Nice. Okay. Yes, I will have red for the red. Oh, just a second. I'll show you. For, oh, and now I've stamped my fingers. I always do that. So I have this stamp set that I have no idea which company it is from, but it has the seal images. So I will do some red seals afterwards because it's fun. I'll also have a red seal on the other side as well, but I'll do it later. Okay, so let's say we put the cherry trees here. I think that would work. I think maybe I'll use this one somewhere as well. I like the fact that it doesn't have, it has these unfinished edges sort of thing. So I think I will do that with some blue. And I will use a block for this one because I can't really use the plastic from that. Hope you'll be okay. Okay. No, I want a, just a second. Where did I put that? There. I'm actually going to use this plastic that is with the pattern because the block just, well, that's the point of it, but it doesn't allow the flexibility of the stamp. And if I want to go into the ridges, there's better chance of it actually succeeding if I'm doing it with this kind of plastic that is very, well, flimsy. Flimsy is not the good word, but you know what I mean. Okay, and I'm actually going to do it purposely a bit like messy, so it doesn't feel too bad if it comes out really messy. Okay, man, I think it's good. And using my little stamping tools. See, that came out pretty damn good. And I'm gonna add some of that here as well. So, oh, when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay, just a sec, because I want to have it very muted somewhere, like maybe around here. So I'm going to dab some of the ink off and hope that I still have enough to actually stamp. Let's see how it works. All right. Here. Hey, Kim. No worries. There's a lot of cool stuff in the hop in general, so you can check it out afterwards as well if you want. Okay, so that's like the base, shall we call it? I think I don't know if I could add. I have cherry blossom stamps. Yeah, so I have these cherry blossom stamps, but I still have the paper flowers, the die cuts that I can use. So I'm not sure if I want the stamping. And also, I can stamp on top as well. No one said I have to finish now. So let's just bring back this thing. And I love already the fact that it looks a completely different style, and it has a completely different feel to the other side. And it's kind of cool. These guys though, I need to ink the edges a bit because they are too shiny. So I usually do it with a marker, but my marker is not here. So I'll just do it with this. Whatever works, right? Yeah. It really does make a huge difference when you do this, just a little bit of inking to the side. It just doesn't, I know, it doesn't stand out as much as, well, as the white paper would. So it's kind of cool. Yep. So that will be around here, like this. And still want her to be, I wonder. Yeah, already dry. Cool. So I'll have her like around here. And the beauty is that because this is a collage paper, all these little patterns from the back should come through once we glue it. And that's why I also have a few things that are not collage paper. So it just creates a different type of layering that is very interesting in my opinion. And yeah, I still like this paper next to her. Oh, I did ink the corner. So I'll put that here. Should we use these girls? What do you say? Maybe just put them here? Maybe. We have this, it's actually like a vintage concert ticket or something like that. And I have somewhere, yeah. Oh no, things nearly fell down. So I have this piece of Japanese paper. Is it Japanese? No, it's Chinese. Still, I mean, I suppose I could use it, but no, because it will not fade into it, and I don't want to have it too much of the text. So I might add some of the text here. These texts are also poems by Ono no Komachi. So okay, I'm gonna start gluing because let's face it, I have 20 minutes, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do exactly, but we'll just play with it and see how it goes, right? Cool. I'm gonna start with this side because I feel more confident about it somehow. Let's see how it works. Okay, so again with the decoupage glue, and just move that and kind of straighten it up ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. Putting it like this. And no, I should just explain for a second. So I am trying basically to have a bit more space on this side because I am going to add in frame. So I'm taking it into account when I'm positioning the objects because once I'll add this to the side, I want it to be more centered. So explain that. Let's glue. And I love the fact that the ink is not, that it works. You can see now that it works perfectly. The archival ink is not budging at all. So cool. This down. Other side. Just putting a ton of glue, as you can see. But that's helpful in making it, they disappear really, in a way. Okay. So, now, just a bit more glue. Now, with the paper dolls and things that are not collage paper, I will not use the collage glue to glue them down because I don't know why exactly. I think it just dries too fast, but I'm just always afraid that it wouldn't catch well enough. Dum, 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 dum. Oh yeah, I know. Thank you, Felin. I know that that I can take the 30 minutes or how many of them that I want extra. But the thing is that if I allow myself, if I say that, oh yeah, I have those extra 30 minutes, that's fine, then I will not finish at that time as well. I mean, come on, you know me. Okay, simple. And one of the reasons that I wanted to use collage paper on this side as well, aside from the fact that I really love using it, I use it in a lot of projects. If you've seen some of my stuff, then you've seen me using it before. But one of the reasons that I wanted to do that is because it allows to create this layering without really any dimension, which for this project specifically is useful. I generally like dimension quite a bit, but in this case, I feel like it would be challenging to open and close the screen afterwards, and just need to take that into account. There we go. Yeah. Usually if I feel like there's a bubble somewhere, I found that taking it out with my fingers is actually easier than trying to do it with the brush. Although sometimes also just doing this helps as well. Because with your fingers you have to be very, very careful because these papers do tear quite easily. But actually, when the glue is still very wet, so right when you're gluing it, it's very easy to move your fingers on it. So that's the good time to get those bubbles out. Yeah. Okay. So that's this side. And this is definitely a part that I would come back afterwards with paint, I think, because it may have disappeared a little more than I would like. Okay, so for these guys, I will use the collage medium. Yeah. Okay. Spring. I'll just hold it down for a second because no, actually I don't need to. Ah, it glued perfectly. Happiness. I thought that, the fact that there is that it's not a smooth back might give me a bit of an issue, but it didn't. Happy day. Okay, so I think I do like this here, so I will glue this also with collage medium. Here, say, oh, wait, calculating just a bit to the side. And I just realized that, yeah, I probably just didn't cut it straight to the edges, and that's why it's giving me issues. Oh, no, what are you doing? Don't slide. Oh, that. Thanks so much, Sam. Okay. Let's move this girl down and then decide what we're doing with that part. One of the things that I've learned about working with this collage paper is that it's kind of hard to anticipate sometimes how it would actually look in the end, because you place things down everywhere and then like see half of the image basically it's not disappears exactly, but it's I don't know, it's kind of it gets a very different kind of feel to it uh, because it's, yeah, it fades into the background to a point. And yeah, in here, so I could see that it's not becoming completely as clear as I wanted, let's put it this way. So I'm adding some glue under in the back, and you do need to be a bit careful when you do that because it can tear up. But again, the collage paper is a lot less delicate than tissue paper. So, because, it's built for exactly this kind of thing. So luckily, it usually works without having any issues. And here I actually like the fact that you can see the paper edges, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Yep. Just, I don't want the bubble in her face, but yeah, it's working okay. Okay. Cool. And just again putting the collage, the decoupage glue all over to create this kind of varnish slash seal slash whatever you want to call it. And I do think that I'm going to add these pearls down in the corner. Yeah, I think I like it here. And I'm purposely actually putting it straight, pretty much straight to the corner, because I might even put it a little bit over. Yeah. So when I do the frame, the frame would actually probably go over it a little bit, and I feel like that might be best with this image. So holding it down in place, putting a ton of glue under it, speaking in weird voices. All's good. And ooh, that's not enough even. Ooh, oh, gently, gently, gently. No, it's rather warm here today, so also the glue dries even faster than usual. And you need to take this into account sometimes because, because it creates different effects. Now, I don't necessarily mind always that it's not perfect or that there's a bit of differences, but yeah, just trying to make it look good. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what was the end of this sentence. Okay. So that is glued down. And I'll pick it up in a second for you to see, because I wonder if I can I still pick you up? Oh, see, that's already very much clear. Dangerous. Last minute additional glue here, because I love the fact that you can see the text through it. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I'll show you. I'll bring it up in a second, and then you can see it. Yeah. And yeah, and what I did right now, just picking up that corner at this point after the glue is already actually starting to dry a bit. I don't think that regular tissue paper would survive that. Let's put it this way. So that's why I use collage paper. Yay. Okay. And a reminder again that yes, Tim Holtz's collage paper is gone or going away. At least the plain one, the one that has no prints on it. But you can buy one from Dina Wakley that is basically the same and works the same way. So it was a happy find. Okay. Thanks so much, Bina. I'm very glad that you like it. And okay, I'll just show you. Can you see here? It's not dry completely, so it's a little hard to see, but you can see, I hope you can see, the text is coming out through the collage paper. It's really creating a very cool layering, in my opinion. Okay, next, what should we do next? I do have some text that I can add, but I also want, I have an extra branch, but I don't think that I want another branch inside. I do have some more flowers that we can add, just also to connect it from the other side. And now I'm thinking that maybe I'll just use petals. What do you say? Maybe we'll just have like a streak of petals going through it. I think that might be nice. It's to be. Thank you in Japanese is arigato, or domo arigato, if you want to say thank you very much. And I think I might actually not be too far from. Yes, Vina. Oh, you are super polite. Domo arigato gozaimasu. Yeah, that is the super polite version. Because you can just say domo, and that's thank you too, but it's not very polite. Okay, maybe add some text here. Yes, I like that. And I might stamp some more on top. What do you say? Oh no! Can you hear my kitty? he's unhappy with me because I'm playing with you and not with her. She thinks it's very rude. I'm just gonna, yeah. So in this case, you can see I don't care that I have, you can see the frame, that you can see the edges like that, not fading, because I like the fact that it looks like it's glued on top. Let's just make it short. Okay, so I basically have 4 minutes. I might go a little bit overboard if it's fine by you, so I can do. No, really? I might go a little bit overboard, so we can do the frame maybe, or just kind of finish this side as well. And I'm thinking, so maybe add this text here, just so we'll have more than one of the texts. It's kind of, and yeah, for Olga and Sam, that would be a 3, right? So it's okay. So I'm gonna add it here. Yes, Kitty. Okay, I'm just gonna put it here. This one does a bit more blue here. Oh dear. And these texts that I'm adding, by the way, are other poems. I think I said that already, but there are other poems by Komachi that I felt were somewhat fitting. They're not spring poems, but they felt fitting in the idea. I can put them afterwards in the description if you want. I'm not sure. I have the translation somewhere, but it'll be a bit hard to get to. Okay, so, and so something that I would do once, when it's dry completely, is go over with some distress ink, or also some waxes, because that would kind of bring out the texture and will grab the edges, even of this very, very fine paper. It will grab it. So I think I will do that too. Now, okay, so let's see if I have enough leaves. Ah, come on. Yes, you can. Pretty much. Ah, it's escaped me. And yeah, maybe move this one here. Yeah, I like this. Right? Do you think I need more? Did I cut some more? I'll just start gluing them. You let me know if you think I need to add some more petals. Or maybe flowers. And should I? I think I should probably kind of get this one out of there. Yeah, it's better here. I like that. It's very hard to create random patterns. So the only way that at least for me, it's the only way I can do it is literally throw things down and hope that I like it where it falls. Okay, so, okay, give me a few more minutes and I'll glue it down, and maybe we'll even do the frame. We'll see how you feel about it. Now, just like I did before, just picking it up with my finger, and yeah, just basically using both tips of the toothpick. One side picks up the glue, and the other side I just put it down, and also clean up a bit if necessary. a little bit, the collage paper, like the collage, the decoupage glue from before is still a little bit sticky, so it's a little trickier than it was on the other side, but it's working. We're making it work. Ooh, petals at the couple's feet. Yeah, that would be nice. Okay, so I'll cut some more maybe. Maybe we'll put flowers down there. What do you say? Would be useful for them to have something grounding them, wouldn't it? So I'll cut some more petals and put them on the ground because I really like that idea. Thank you. Down, down. There we go. Okay. Actually surprised by how quickly this gluing is going. Like I usually really avoid doing things like that because I think it will take forever, but you know, it's actually not taking forever. Shocking. And welcoming. Yeah, shocking and welcome discovery. Let's put it this way. Okay. And then the petal bites me. Of course. Okay. Thanks so much, Sue. I'll tell you what I'll do once I've finished gluing these guys. We'll just have a look at seeing how it looks with flowers. And if we like it, we'll have flowers. And if we don't, we'll cut them down and have some petals. Okay. So I have some more flowers, but no, it definitely needs to be petals. Yeah, the flowers are too big here. You good? Yeah. So it's really easy. So you just take your scissors, your small scissors. I'll just do a little bit to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Maybe I should not do it on the pattern. But yeah, basically I'm just cutting into it. And you will note that there is almost always, see this little, I'll bring it up. Focus up here, focus up, come on, there you go. And it stopped, okay. I'll just try to do it close to the camera. No, okay. But basically, if you saw, there is a little bit, because the way the die works, it's not very sharp lines. Well, no, that's the wrong way to put it. But there's a curve where the petals meet. So when I cut the petals out, I need to remove that basically. And it works quite easily, actually. Just dropping things. So that's one flower. Let's see. How do we like it? And how many more do we think we need? I think we'll need maybe here. See, randomizing without throwing things down is impossible for me. Yeah, totally, Sue. It's really, I mean, to be fair, when we do a live, we usually prepare some of the things ahead. Like, you know, the screen itself took some time to make, but you don't really want to sit here and watch the glue dry, because that's basically what you do half of the time when you're making these screens. So you kind of pick and choose which part of the project would probably be interesting and fun to watch. But yeah, there's always so much preparation ahead. Okay, so now I think what we'll do is the random style. I'll just use this photo for a sec. Don't hide petals. Just collected them on this photo and dropping, and part of them are in a nice place. So we'll move that a little bit. I don't think I want too many petals like over there, but that would be nice. Maybe we will, what do you say? Should they have some petals on their shoes? Like that. Yes. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, it's kind of, I guess it sort of continues the other side. No, so this is maybe too much. I think I might leave the one on her leg because I kind of like it like that. Yeah, yeah. My kitties, Vina, they're usually not at this time. Give it another hour and they will be climbing on my on the media mat, because I am supposed to be giving them food, not showing you the stuff. But at this hour, they tend to be just like, oh, play with me. And if I don't immediately play with them, then they often just like be all and go away. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's really, yeah, when you put figures, it's really useful always to put something that sort of grounds them, even, even if it's a completely, well, collage like this, that it's not, it's not like trying to show a scene that is very clear in any way. But it's still, it just, I don't know, gives them more of a, okay, that's going to be weird, but grounded look. That sounds really bad in this case. But yeah, it just helps with figures. Um, there we go. Where'd it go? Ooh. Okay. Just a couple more. And this one on her leg because I like it there. There. Okay. This is too much. Ready. I will cut this extra off. I'll use my giant scissors for that. It's easier. I can glue it down, but I just want to remove as much as possible. And the important test, did I glue all the petals down? Ha, see, one escaped. I'm not sure where from, but okay, I don't feel like it's missing anywhere. So we'll just have another one extra if we want it. And I think it's time to frame it, basically. Yeah, so we have this side that is much more minimal, and this side, which is more, I don't know, collage. Yeah, modern collage. So what I like about using this washi tape for the frame is that aside from the fact that, yes, it's a Japanese pattern, which is useful, it also has these lines. So it's very easy to kind of measure it. And you know what? Maybe I'll do that later, because I would prefer to have this completely dry before I do the frame, but you can kind of, here, I'll just pull it out so you can kind of see how it looks. It's going to be, of course, a lot thinner, just going to be around. And I have done it with the bunnies, so I can show you. Yeah, so it'll be basically like that, and it really gives a nice finished look to the screen. And I think that we will finish with that. I will let this dry completely and frame it, and then I will take pictures and post them. So if you want to see pictures of the finished screen, my Instagram is in the description, and you can find me there, and this will be there. It'll be on my Facebook as well, actually, so Facebook or Instagram, whichever you feel you like more. So yeah, let's just do another switch. Like, this is the traditional side, and this is the, let's call it not traditional side, because I have no other description. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much, Mirka, for for having me, inviting me. It was so much fun. And yeah, if you haven't seen the other videos, then check them out, because there's have been amazing things. And I hope you enjoyed this. And thank you so much. I will finish now. So thank you, and bye-bye. Choose. I can say that. Choose. Thank you. Oh, what? Oh, if you don't have washi, you can do a couple of things. You can either use the same, oh, sorry. You can either use the same paper that you use here. It's just tissue paper. If you don't want to frame it in a different color, you can print out on collage paper the same way that, and use it the same way, just print strips. And you can also use patterned paper. If you have patterned paper, you can just cut it to strips and use it around. Washi tape is just useful because, it's already a line and it's got sticky. So it's easy. But you can definitely just use so many other things. So there. Thank you so much again. And I'll see you soon, I hope. Bye. Oh, wait. Before I forget, there is another stream starting in 15 minutes on Marika's channel. So go check it out as well. And I'll see you later. Thank you so much. Bye. For real this time. Bye bye.